This is
The Handbag Husband.
the Handbag Husband. Yay, Hermès Coupe. So today we are here in our favorite, one of my personal favorites, not because it's the best, but because it is my favorite, LAX airport, at the LAX airport boutique for Hermès. And I think one of the interesting things about this trip is we're actually just going to have two boutiques to visit this time around. So we have LAX and then the big, the heavy hitter, the much lauded CDG. And I am so excited because it'll be the first time we've ever been to CDG. I'm really interested to see how it compares to the other airport boutiques that we have been to in the past, because we've done a lot over our Hermès capades. Now, of course, if you like these videos, if you like the Hermès conversation, if you like the Hermès milieu, and if you like the bag candy, and this is one thing we're gonna have a lot of, is bag candy, especially this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it does really help the channel grow. And of course, we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
Merci. But also because it means you get notified when our newest long videos come out, when our newest short videos come out, and everything we have on the socials, on YouTube, on Instagram, at Handbag Husband, because we have new Hermès content coming out every single week. So let's talk about some of those airport boutiques. All right, so let's talk about a visit here at the Hermès boutique at LAX. And
It was quick.
it was very quick. They were very busy, which was nice to see. I think obviously maybe this time of year things are quite busy. And I think it goes true that you can never go to the same boutique twice. Yes, it is physically the same boutique, but everything else has basically changed. And I think as a good sign, almost as a good omen for us, this trip starts off with the fact that they offered us a garden party. Boo! They're like, oh, it's good for travel. It's like, it barely closes. They're like, no, it's good for travel. But it was in an interesting leather. Oh, man, now I don't remember what the leather was. But
I guess just throw back a little bit. Last time they offered you the
yes,
GJ.
I had mentioned that. I was like, oh, last time I was here, they had the GJ, which I was like, do you all have any more of those? And they're like, no. We get them occasionally, but not really. But also, especially after some of our other Hermès capades, we had said, well, some of the Kelly Voyages, the hacks, aren't technically considered quota bags. So I thought maybe it would make sense for them to have them at an airport where people buy travel bags.
Yeah.
But the SA was like, no, we don't ever get those bags at all.
Which just doesn't make any sense. You're at the airport.
It would make 100% sense to get them here. I mean, you literally have the suitcases, right?
Yes.
They have the suitcases.
Yes.
They had a very interesting veru as well, in like almost like circus colors, like stripes and things.
Yeah.
Of course, the highlight was for me, and probably for you, I would imagine, was the bolide on wheel. Because they had the bolide on wheel, but they also had the bolide on wheels charm attached to the larger
Oh, are they
bolide on
selling?
wheels. No. I was like, can I see it? She's like, actually, it's locked. I don't even have the keys for it. I was like, oh, okay.
Not for you.
No, I guess if you have to ask, right?
Yeah.
Then it's definitely not for you. But of course, I had asked for some of the small leather goods. They had almost no small leather goods. And they were very busy. They had people in the shoes, they had people in the jewelry, strangely enough, and they had people buying scarves. So I think it's a good sign that things are continually going well.
It's a holiday. I
It's
think
holidays
it makes sense.
too, yeah. I think that overall, the LAX boutique, again, has stayed my favorite thus far, just because it's so comforting, it's so warm, it feels very familiar, and I like all that kind of stuff. Oh, one other interesting thing that she mentioned is that they do get Constance. She's like, we don't ever get any of the Kellys or Birkins, but they do get Constances occasionally. So again, I think one of the things was that the conversation was rather short. This one, so I wanted to get to a question of like why. Maybe ask why she thinks that one would want to put their spend and their time into an airport boutique versus a normal at-home boutique. But that conversation kind of got swept away. So overall, I think the boutique visit was okay.
What else do you see in there?
I mean, maybe it's also the time of the day, right? The flights that are going out. There's lots of people who have different preferences kind of from different parts of the world, as we found out in Thailand specifically.
Sure.
So again, the shoe department was very busy. The scarf department was sort of busy. But oddly enough, no one was in the leather department. There was no one. There's no SAs. There was no people looking for leathered goods. So I don't know, maybe it's not the time of the day that leather lookers are out there. So yeah, I mean, I think overall, I don't think this visit was as good as last time, because the only thing they offered was a garden party. Not that garden party's bad, just not our style. They're perfectly
what
fine.
size was it?
It was the 36.
Okay.
It was 36, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you like garden parties, that's okay, right? We can still be friends. But for us, again, we're looking for more of a formal bag, and I was just hoping that those larger bag, those quote-unquote travel bags, a Calais Voyage, literally a travel bag, would be available at a travel location. But
Sure. It would make more sense. Yeah.
overall, I think that I would downgrade a little bit from last time. Last time we gave it, I think, a 3 something. I think this one's 2.75, just because the offer was run of the mill at best. But obviously, it's kind of hit or miss. They have the Giget, they have Constance, allegedly, purportedly.
With the Constance, did they say like, oh, you just basically first come, first serve?
First come, first serve.
Got it.
First come, you show up, you just show up in the right place at the right time, and it's yours. I know in the past they had said that you could build a relationship with them. They'll like give you their contact information, and I guess it's also tricky because of the airportness and like flights in, flights out, like scheduling and stuff like that, and their personal schedule. But so far we have not pursued really a serious relationship. Also, we're here enough that we don't need a serious relationship. We can just show up and be like, hey, we're here. And they're like, oh, you again. So, I mean, of course, LAX for us, because it is the most familiar boutique, is kind of the bar, right? That we measure all the other airport boutiques against. And again, I think CDG, when we get a chance to see it, I believe it is the land of milk and honey, right? I believe it is going to be just this amazing boutique. I have never been there.
Turn out it closed, like the Zurich, like the Zurich one.
Or it's remodeling like everything else in Italy. Yes. So I'm really interested to see how CDG compares to it, and maybe it could unseat some of the top airport boutiques that we already have, and maybe it could even become our new favorite one. And we might even have to change our travel plans around if it is that good. But I don't know. Still early on. We'll have to see.
I'm like super skeptical. I feel like CDG might not be.
Yeah, it might be lame. Yeah, it might not be lame.
But we'll see.
This is F241 gay mini Hermès. I think very mini. It might even just be a display.
The face of the defeat.
It's on the face of defeat. In fact, we stopped off at a very kind of random Hermès boutique. I guess they have many of them here in Charles de Gaulle. But we're just in like the basic commuter terminal on the way to Italy. And I stopped in, and it turns out even like these little mini ones have stuff to offer. They had the Voyage garden party, because I was like, oh, do you have any Voyages? They're like, well, we have the garden party.
Is it this trip the theme gonna be garden party, or what's the deal?
Dude,
this is the second garden, garden party.
Right? Always only garden parties you can get to. But they also had, what I got to see was a Constance and a Chevre, which was so beautiful, so beautiful. So I'm really excited to have seen it. Unfortunately, it was not available for sale. And of course, I got offered something that I think is going to be very common in this trip, which is the Kelly messenger bag. In fact, the exact same messenger bag.
The same size, though?
Same size that we had previously gotten, but it was in a navy blue, which was really nice, but the taupe is okay, too. So I don't know. I mean, of course, I turned them down at this point, but I think, one, it's a good sign that there are things, and two, it's a good sign that they are offering us things. So...
What did you ask? Like, what do they normally get? Or
I had asked if they normally get like quota bags. They're like, no, we don't really get quota bags. But what they do get is they do get some of the larger bags, and obviously they had a fairly decent size selection of kind of the tier 2 quota bags. Constance, the Cavalier or whatever that one is.
Did they have any like Picotin or Lindy or anything?
They did have a Picotin. Yes, they had a Picotin, and they had it in the loop. So I don't know, or maybe it was just an in the loop. I'll have to go check again, but. I think those are things that would definitely be available here if you get them at the right moment.
Sure.
And we're still pretty early. It's pretty early in the day.
It's like
10 o'clock-ish. Yeah. So they just got their shipments in, and that's why they had stuff to offer, allegedly. So I would say don't discount these little mini kind of boutiques here in Charles de Gaulle.
The size actually not mini.
Well, I mean, in comparison to
for what it is.
Le Grand boutique, it's quite small, but don't discount it, right? You never know. It never hurts to stop in and say hello.
Again, this is 2F, Terminal 2F.
And I was kind of concerned because when you see like the reviews, they're like, oh, they're kind of snooty or stuck up. Totally not. They were super friendly here. So I don't know. Maybe this is where they put all the friendly ones. We'll have to see.
Okay.
So onward, upward, more bags.
No more garden party, please.
All right, so we have made it to the end of this Hermès Capade. Here, finishing off strong, not as strong as I would have liked at CDG, and you can tell the extra plates of pasta and the croissant and the profiterole all in my face. But we decided this is going to be the last on this Hermès Capade, and I thought it was going to be big. And I think one thing that isn't.
I told you it's gonna be the most lame.
Yes. No. It's not the most lame, but simply what I would say is that you have to choose. If you have the choice, it depends on which one you go to, right? Because on the way in for a different terminal, we saw the big boom,
No, it's
right?
a different gate. It's the same terminal.
Correct, but we saw a different gate. So this, it really is going to depend on which gate you end up going to. Which
Sure.
when you roll the dice for the gates, because we don't have a choice. It really depends. Because the one on the way in was pretty good, and that was just like a small inner Europe one.
Almost like a not even permanent.
Well, yeah, it looked
It's
like
a permanent, but
it's not a pop up,
it's
but
not like
yeah,
this permanent. Yeah.
not this permanent,
Yeah.
like solid building permanent.
Yeah.
And then obviously while we were walking through the airport on the way in and on the way out, we saw the big the Candyland version of it, right? Like the big massive boom. But this is not that, and I think that's a consideration that I had not thought about. It's there are many Hermès boutiques here.
Yes.
And I think that some are going to be more well equipped than others, and this is probably the case here as well. Now, of course, I went into this one with the same criteria that we've used on all the Hermès airport boutiques so far, that I'm looking for a larger travel bag. And in case you can guess, if you've played along at home at this point, you can kind of figure out what they offer me.
It's gonna be either garden party or her bag.
Ooh, ding, 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 ding,
Because
ding.
it's the
Yes.
theme the whole trip.
Yes.
This whole trip.
Yes, Madam Handbag Husband. You are correct. They were like, what you need is a her bag. I think it was
The
in.
same, the one that's offered in Rome.
No, it was larger. So it was a 40, I think a 42 maybe, or it's cheap. The SA actually didn't know what size it was.
I was like, whatever. We
they're
got this one for 10 years ago.
Yeah,
10 years ago.
they dusted off. But it was larger than 40. It was in, it was in box. The upper was in box leather, but it was the gold box leather, which, is very lovely, first of all. And then the bottom, of course, was going to be in the fabric. And, the same problem that we have with all the her bags we've been offered, and we've been offered many, is that they
And
don't
there will
really,
be many more.
And there will,
There will be many,
a whole
many,
heck of a lot
many
more.
more. Yes.
There was, that was it. So, I think, again, I'm happy. I consider it a step up from a garden party. No hate on garden party people, but
I feel like I like garden party more than her bag.
really, why is that?
Grocery.
Oh yes, I guess it is sort of more
I do
usable.
carry tote bags,
It is
so-
it is sort of more usable. You do your groceries with your quota bags as well,
Correct,
right? So these are not just show ponies; these are workhorses as well. The other thing they offered, I had asked for a GJ, and SA said yes, we do get GJ relatively often, but not today.
What about Picotin, Lindy?
Mm-hmm.
They got those?
They do get those, and the only thing that they had actually today for women, because I asked for Constance, because hey, I'm a
you got kicked
good
out.
handbag. He's just like, yeah, it's back the way you came. No, I asked for Constance, and the only thing they had was a in the loop fanny pack. The in the loop fanny pack. So I'll put a picture up here. I kind of sort of don't hate it, to be honest. With a build like mine, it may not be ideal. It'll kind of let the belly hang a little bit. But I guess technically it is a women's. I think it's really unisex, though. I think it really could be either. It was in Swift and Etop. And I don't know. It's a cool thing to see. I think that I had also asked on your behalf for the Move bag,
Yes.
which we've been searching for. But I think the Move bag is relatively difficult to find outside of
It's
specific
newish,
boutiques.
I
Yeah,
guess.
it's newish. I don't think they're going to make a ton of them, and I think
It's colorized, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to get, I think.
yeah, in the Kelly family, of course, those things are always going to be different and difficult. So, asked for it, nothing really. They had a couple interesting bags on display on the bag candy, mostly Constance's, a Lindy, and you said you saw one. What did you say?
I saw Elon.
Oh yes,
Constant,
yes,
the
yes,
green one.
yes,
The
yes,
cheap
yes,
over
yes.
here. Yeah, I kind of.
So not really that exciting, but I think this boutique specifically, and the lesson that I learned is that there are going to be boutiques specifically in CDG for Hermès that are not the boutiques, right? These are almost like service boutiques, right? Something that
You can tell by the height of the ceiling.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And the size of the window design, that it really is just meant to kind of service people who are
The
passing
brand
through.
presentation, like representative of the brand.
Yes, it's supposed to represent, and they need to have the representation in each of the terminals.
Sure.
But this is not the pièce de résistance.
Sure.
Right? This is not the big boy boutique. And that one, again, just kind of a roll of dice.
This is gate L, guys. Gate L. I think the big one was in gate M. No, MK, K.
Yes.
Is in the gate
Yes.
K. So
But that was not our train style.
no.
Yeah. All right, so we are here the last day of our Hermès escapades. Yay, sad. Here in the Air France Lounge at CDG. And first of all, it is a lounge we've never been to. I don't think we've ever been to this one. Have you been to this one?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so it's
A
definitely
smaller one. It's a
it's smaller, and I think it's also kind of comparable to the Hermès boutique that we went to last in CDG that ended kind of in a whimper more than a bang that we had initially thought. I mean, I don't know. I guess overall, what are you thinking about the airport boutiques that we went to? Because we did LAX and 2 CDGs.
I get jitter when I travel, so obviously
You're telling me.
so I don't really pay attention. It's like, okay, like I know my husband's gonna go, I know you're gonna go.
Yeah.
and I'm just waiting outside.
Yeah.
But expectation, it's about
I think it's what you had anticipated.
Yeah.
I thought
because
Voyages
it's, because it's different gate. It's just different.
Yes,
gate.
we ended up going to not the big boom gate.
Yeah.
And my expectation, my hope, I guess, this kind of meets my expectation. My hope was that there'd be Kelly Voyages falling from the sky. Like it'd just be like, they're like, yes, monsieur, we have everything you're looking for. You're traveling. You're looking for a travel bag. We're a travel place. This is where it is, and maybe it is. I don't know. We can be hopeful for next time if we get to go to the big boom
Sure.
Hermès boutique here at CDG. But we went to more of a service one. So I think
But do you
that's.
think it's still better than the intra Europe, the 2E?
I don't think so.
It's about the same.
I like the inner Europe one better. They offered me
Because
more
it-
stuff.
the
They were
first day
friendlier.
of the trip.
That's true. I mean, that's fair. I mean, it could be also that I came in bedraggled, right? Because this one we actually did have kind of a fashion girl experience, right? The SA. So they were reluctant to even kind of show me some of the bags that they showed. So, yeah, I think that CDG is a complicated situation because there are many Hermès boutiques, and since we did not go to the Big Boom Hermès boutique, I think it's hard to make a final decision on this one.
All right,
Yeah,
fine.
and ultimately, I mean, I guess comparing the ones that we saw, I still think the CDG one is on par with LAX. The CDG Inner Europe, the first one that we went into,
Okay.
I would say is on par because they did offer some good stuff. They were friendly and they had some things. And the CDG on the way out,
I feel
I
like
don't
they're
know.
all par, all three that we
Yeah,
are
they're
doing
probably
this
all par.
time, like the
Yeah.
LAX, the CDG 2E, CDG. Wait, no, CDG 2F, CDG 2E, which is
Yeah.
doing right now, but
Yeah.
Gate L. Yeah, I think they're all par.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. And maybe it's just me being like, oh, it's in Paris. It's in Paris airport. Expectations are so high. Like, why wouldn't it be there? And there's probably a lot of good reasons why it's not. There's probably a lot of good reasons why it's
Yeah.
not. So yeah, I think
No,
overall,
but you were saying like, I mean, all these three that we've been to, or you've been to, if there's a bag, they will sell it to you. Not
That's
the,
true.
The second tier.
yes,
The second tier.
correct.
Bag, yeah.
Yes, that's correct. So I guess, and it could also be the timing, right? The time that we're leaving is actually a very different time than the time we arrived, considering how much time we spent here. I also think another consideration is considering we've been here for quite some time. I feel like the boutiques are in a very different position right now at the very end of the year than they are earlier on before the
I can see that.
the big push seasons start, before the big holiday, because we came before the holidays and then kind of left starting the beginning of the holidays,
Yeah.
and we saw that at FSH, we saw it now at CDG, and we see it just kind of all throughout
Yeah.
Paris that things have changed pretty quickly over a weekend.
The
basically.
vibe changed pretty quickly.
Dude, the vibe changed crazy amounts, but we'll talk about that in another video. So overall, airport boutiques, I'm glad that we added these CDGs to it. I think the one thing it's going to change in my mind is if we are traveling inter-Europe through CDG, I'm still going to be like, I'm not going to wave off the Hermès boutiques, the little ones that we
Sure,
see, and the
sure.
inter-Europe ones, and be like, oh, these are just for locals or whatever, or like they're probably not big hitters, they actually have some pretty good stuff. Don't discount those ones. Versus even the international boutique that we went to today, in the international terminal, isn't that much different. So I think that's the one lesson that I learned for that. So yeah, I think that's that. And of course, I mean, I don't know. I haven't met an Hermès boutique that we've passed by and not visited, at least internationally. So, when I see them, still gonna go. All right, so that is it for our airport boutique reviews here for these Hermès capades. We're starting in LAX and then ending in CDG 2 times. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope really that you enjoy all of our videos. And if you do, if you like the Hermès conversation, if you like the Hermès milieu, if you like the bag candy, and even at the airport boutiques, we get some pretty good bag candy for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because it does really help the channel grow. And of course, we are so thankful for that.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. But also because it means you get notified when our newest long videos come out, when our newest short videos come out, and all the stuff we have on the socials, on Instagram and on YouTube, because we have new Hermès content. That is great, coming out every single week. So on our way out.
Not Hong Kong. You were gonna say Hong Kong. You were gonna say Hong Kong.
So on our way out from the homeland, the heartland of Hermès, finally adjusted to the time, just enough time to get LAX jet lag back.